Cataracts. Eat this fruit daily to make your eyes bright and cataract free. Hi, nice to meet you. If you're over 60 and starting to notice that your vision isn't what it used to be, maybe the lights are too bright at night or your surroundings look a little blurry, I want you to know that you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not helpless. But as an ophthalmologist, I've spent the last 30 years helping seniors protect their vision and maintain their independence. Today, I want to share something that most people haven't heard, and it starts with a simple fruit you probably already have in your kitchen. You see, cataracts are often treated as an inevitable part of aging. Doctors say, wait until it gets worse, then we'll do the surgery. But what if there was something we could do right now, before things get worse? Studies show that up to 95% of people over 65 have early signs of cataracts, but certain fruits, yes. Fruits contain natural compounds that can help protect the lens, slow the process of clouding, and even promote clearer, brighter vision over time. This isn't conjecture or hearsay. These are scientifically proven findings that are often overlooked because, let's be honest, eye surgery costs a lot more than feeding people fruit. In today's video, I'm going to introduce you to 7 powerful fruits that support healthy vision, ranked from helpful to downright eye-opening. And what's the number one fruit? It's probably sitting in your refrigerator right now. But before we get into that, let me ask you, have you noticed your vision getting blurry, especially when driving at night? Has your ophthalmologist ever said, just wait and see, without offering you any advice in the meantime? If that sounds familiar, you've come to the right place. Share your story in the comments. My team and I have read them all, and we're here to help you with gentle, practical guidance. Let's get started. Number 1, apple. Let's start with something familiar. The apple, sweet, crisp, and often sitting quietly in your fruit bowl, might be doing more for your eyes than you think. While apples may not carry the exotic flair of other superfoods, they contain a potent antioxidant called quercetin, which is especially concentrated in the skin. Quercetin helps protect the delicate proteins inside the lens of your eye from oxidative stress, the kind that slowly clouds your vision and leads to cataracts. Think of it this way: when these lens proteins are damaged, they begin to clump together and lose their transparency. Similar to how egg whites become opaque when heated, quercetin acts like a natural bodyguard, helping keep your lens proteins stable, smooth, and clear. A long-term study from Cornell University tracked nearly 500 adults over 5 years. The result: those who ate 1 apple a day with the skin on had a 27% lower chance of developing cataracts than those who rarely ate apples. Now, I'd like you to meet Walter, a 72-year-old veteran and amateur woodworker from Oregon. For years, he crafted toys for his grandkids, but recently found the fine details started escaping him. Small measurements looked blurry, and sunlight through his garage window became a harsh glare. His doctor mentioned early cataract formation and told him to wait. But Walter, never one to sit idle, made a small change. Each morning, after his walk, he started eating a whole red apple skin and all instead of his usual pastry. 6 months later, his next eye exam brought good news. His cataracts had barely progressed, and he felt noticeably sharper while working with his hands again. It's not a miracle, it's not a cure, but it's a start. 1 apple every day, especially the red ones, Gala, Fuji, Red Delicious, these have the highest quercetin levels. For best results, eat them fresh, early in the day, and chew slowly. Give your eyes time to absorb the goodness nature packed into this simple fruit. And if you're wondering where to begin your journey to clearer vision, you might just find the answer in your fruit drawer. Number 2, grapes. What makes grapes so special? It's their rich content of anthocyanins and resveratrol, 2 antioxidants found mostly in the skins of red and purple grapes. Anthocyanins give grapes their deep color, and help neutralize free radicals before they damage the lens of your eye. Meanwhile, resveratrol supports the genes that keep the lens clear and healthy, almost like flipping on a light switch inside your eye cells. A long-term study from the University of Missouri, following more than 1,800 adults over 10 years, found that those who ate just half a cup of red or purple grapes daily had 34% less lens clouding compared to those who didn't eat grapes at all. Here's something to remember: the darker the grape, the stronger the protection. Concord grapes are the top choice, followed by red grapes. Green grapes, while still healthy, offer the least benefit for your eyes in this area. Whenever possible, choose grapes with seeds. Yes, seeds. They contain natural plant compounds called proanthocyanidins, which help strengthen the tiny blood vessels that nourish your eye's lens. Let me share the story of Gerald Baum, a 65-year-old former mechanic from Minnesota. He spent years working with fine tools under harsh lighting. When he retired, he finally had time to read and fish, two things he loved. But fading vision, especially in bright daylight, started getting in the way. His doctor mentioned moderate cataracts with a high likelihood of needing surgery within a year. Not one to rush into things, Gerald looked into natural ways to support his vision. He started eating a cup of frozen Concord grapes every afternoon, not with meals but between them, to help his body absorb the antioxidants better. 6 months passed. At his follow-up, the results surprised everyone, including his eye doctor. His lens clarity had stabilized, and his vision no longer seemed to be worsening. Today, 2 years later, Gerald still enjoys his grapes and his quiet afternoons on the lake, reading without squinting. So if you're looking for a sweet, easy way to care for your eyes, where you will reach for the grapes, especially the dark ones, let them thaw slightly or eat them frozen for a cool treat. One small bowl a day might just help keep your vision clearer longer. Number 3, papaya. Unlike most fruits that work by preventing damage, papaya contains an enzyme called papain, which goes a step further. It gently breaks down the clumped, damaged proteins that cloud your eye's lens, the very proteins that cause vision to turn dull and blurry over time. To help you picture it, just as a meat tenderizer breaks down tough muscle fibers, papain targets those misfolded lens proteins while leaving the healthy ones untouched. It's a delicate and natural process, and one the scientific community is starting to pay close attention to. A large study from the All India Institute of Medical Sciences followed over 900 adults with early-stage cataracts. After 6 months of eating 1 cup of ripe papaya daily, 41% of participants showed noticeable improvement in lens clarity. That's not just prevention, that's progress. But here's the key: the ripeness of the papaya matters. To get the full benefit, the fruit should be a rich yellow-orange and slightly soft to the touch, not green and not overly mushy. That's when papain levels are highest. And timing also plays a role for best absorption. Eat papaya first thing in the morning at least 30 minutes before other foods. This allows the enzyme to get into your system without being blocked by other proteins. And don't throw away the seeds. A small teaspoon of black seeds, blended in with the fruit, adds even more compounds that support lens health. Let me introduce you to Margaret Zhang, a 70-year-old retired librarian from Florida. She'd always loved reading by the window, but over time, the pages began to blur and her reading glasses didn't seem to help. Her doctor confirmed early cataracts, especially in her right eye, and gently recommended starting to plan for surgery. Margaret, who'd always believed in giving nature a chance, began incorporating papaya into her mornings. Exactly 1 cup of ripe fruit with a few crushed seeds. It became part of her sunrise routine. 8 months later, her checkup brought unexpected news. Her right eye showed a 15% improvement in lens clarity, and her symptoms had eased to the point where she could read comfortably again. No surgery needed. Now, Margaret still starts her day with papaya and a novel, and she often says, with a smile, "It's the sweetest medicine I've ever tasted." Number 4, oranges. Most people know oranges are rich in vitamin C, but here's something they may not know. Your eye's lens holds more vitamin C than any other part of your body, up to 60 times more than what's in your blood. That makes vitamin C your lens's first line of defense against oxidative stress, the kind that breaks down proteins and causes cloudiness. But oranges don't stop there. They also contain hesperidin, found in the white pith under the peel, the part most people throw away. Hesperidin helps strengthen the tiny capillaries that nourish the lens, ensuring it gets the blood flow and nutrients it needs. Then there's zeaxanthin, a pigment that filters out harmful blue light, the type that speeds up cataract formation. A long-term study from King's College London, which followed over 300 sets of twins for a decade, showed that people with higher vitamin C intake from whole oranges had 33% slower cataract progression. But how you eat your orange matters. Skip the juice, it strips away the fiber and much of the hesperidin. Instead, eat the whole orange. And don't worry if you get some of that white pith, it's actually good for you. Navel oranges, in particular, offer the best mix of nutrients for eye health. And here's a helpful tip: pair your orange with a small handful of almonds. The vitamin E in almonds works hand in hand with vitamin C to protect your lens more effectively. The best time to enjoy this snack: mid-morning, when vitamin C absorption is at its peak. Let me tell you about Edna, a retired florist from North Carolina. She's 68 and spent most of her life arranging flowers and mixing colors until she started to notice whites looking more yellow and some colors blending together. Her doctor confirmed early cataracts. Rather than rushing into treatment, she made a change. Every day at 10 a.m., she started enjoying 2 whole navel oranges with a few almonds on the side. She made sure not to peel off all the white parts, even if it wasn't the tastiest bit. 5 months later, her follow-up showed a 12% improvement in lens clarity, and more importantly to her, she could once again see the difference between cream, ivory, and pearl white. Sometimes healing doesn't have to be complicated, sometimes it's just one orange, one morning at a time. Number 5, kiwi. The kiwi, small, green, and often overlooked, turns out to be a powerhouse for protecting your eyes from cataracts. Gram for gram, kiwis carry more vitamin C than oranges, and they offer a special blend of lutein and zeaxanthin, 2 carotenoids that settle directly into your eye's lens, acting like natural sunglasses. They filter out harmful light before it can break down the proteins that keep your vision sharp. But what truly sets kiwi apart is its unique combination of vitamin C and vitamin E. These 2 vitamins don't just work alone, they regenerate each other, creating a cycle of ongoing protection inside your eye tissue. In a large-scale study from New Zealand involving over 1,400 participants, researchers found that eating 2 kiwis a day reduced the risk of developing cataracts by 36%, and even slowed down progression in people who already had them. If you want to get the most out of your kiwi, go for the golden variety. They have 60% more vitamin C than the green ones, and while most people peel the skin, the edible skin of organic kiwi holds extra antioxidants, though it may take a little getting used to. To help your body absorb the nutrients better, pair kiwi with a bit of healthy fat like a few almonds or slices of avocado. This simple combo can triple the absorption of carotenoids. Let me introduce you to Linda, a 63-year-old hiking enthusiast from Colorado. Her dream was to spend her retirement traveling the national parks with her husband. But last year, she noticed foggy patches in her vision, especially in bright sunlight. Her eye doctor confirmed early cataracts and warned that further progression could limit her ability to drive, hike, or enjoy those vivid landscapes she loved. Instead of waiting, Linda made a shift. Every morning before breakfast, She started eating 2 golden kiwis with a few slices of avocado. She also wore wraparound sunglasses religiously on her hikes. 12 months later, her checkup showed that her cataracts had stabilized, and even more encouraging, her contrast sensitivity had improved, making it easier for her to see depth and texture on trails. She didn't just protect her eyes, she protected her freedom. And to this day, she packs a kiwi and some almonds in her hiking bag just in case the trail leads her somewhere beautiful. Number 6, blueberries. The blueberry, small, sweet, and deeply colored, offers some of the strongest protection against cataracts found in any common fruit. What makes blueberries so effective? It's their rich content of anthocyanins, powerful plant pigments with antioxidant properties. In fact, blueberries contain 15 different types of anthocyanins, each targeting a different part of the cataract process. These compounds don't just help prevent damage. Research from Japan shows that they can also repair the early cross-linking of lens proteins, the clumping that leads to cloudiness. Even more remarkably, anthocyanins in blueberries can reverse glycation damage, a process where excess sugar sticks to proteins in your lens, causing them to harden and lose transparency. In a 15-year study of over 200-300 participants, those who ate 1 cup of blueberries daily saw a 38% reduction in the need for cataract surgery. If you want the most benefit, go for wild blueberries. They contain twice the anthocyanins of regular store-bought varieties. And here's a tip: frozen wild blueberries may actually be more potent than fresh ones, thanks to the way freezing breaks down the cell walls, making antioxidants more available. To boost absorption, pair blueberries with a little whole milk yogurt or kefir. The fat and protein help your body absorb and stabilize the anthocyanins. Just avoid eating them with iron-rich foods, like red meat or iron supplements, since iron can bind to the anthocyanins and make them less effective. Split your daily serving into 2, half in the morning, half in the evening, to give your eyes round-the-clock protection. Let me share the story of Frank, a 70-year-old woodcarver from Vermont. His eyesight had always been his pride, able to see the tiniest grain in a block of maple. But 2 years ago, he was told cataracts were forming in both eyes. Surgery was suggested within the year. But Frank wasn't ready to put down his tools. He began eating a cup of wild blueberries each day, half in the morning with kefir, the other half in the evening before bed. He also cut back on sugary snacks and soda. 18 months later, his eye exam showed something extraordinary. His cataracts hadn't grown, in fact. They'd reduced in density by 20% in one eye and 15% in the other. Frank still spends his afternoons in his workshop carving birds so detailed you'd think they might fly away. All thanks to, as he puts it, to a bowl of blueberries and a little patience. And now we've arrived at the top of the list, the fruit that, in my experience and according to some of the most compelling research available today, offers the most powerful natural support in the fight against cataracts. Number 7, goji berries. At first glance, these little red berries, also known as wolfberries, may seem simple, but hidden inside each one is a rare concentration of nutrients that work in harmony to protect, preserve, and even improve your vision over time. What sets goji berries apart is their sky-high level of zeaxanthin, a carotenoid that plays a critical role in maintaining the health of your lens. In fact, goji berries contain over 200 times more zeaxanthin than oranges, making them the most zeaxanthin-rich food we know of. This nutrient acts like a gentle filter inside your eye, shielding your lens from oxidative stress and harmful blue light, both of which contribute heavily to cataract development. But that's just the beginning. Goji berries are also packed with something called Lycium barbarum polysaccharides, LBPs, a unique group of compounds that do what few natural substances can. They stimulate your own eye tissue to produce more of its own antioxidants. Think of it like turning on your body's internal repair crew, not just defending, but actively working to restore clarity in the lens. And this isn't just theory. A 20-year landmark study out of China, following 847 adults, found that those who consumed just 15 grams of dried goji berries daily had a 52% lower risk of developing cataracts. Even more astonishing, 31% of those with early-stage cataracts actually saw a reversal in lens clouding. So how should you eat them? The key is in the preparation. Soak your dried goji berries in warm water for about 10 minutes before eating. This not only softens the fruit, but also boosts the absorption of zeaxanthin by over 180%. And don't throw out the water. It becomes a nourishing tea that delivers the same protective benefits. For those with more advanced symptoms, some integrative eye specialists recommend a restorative course, 30 grams of soaked berries daily for 3 months, followed by a 15-gram maintenance dose long-term. Always look for organic, bright red-orange berries. Avoid any that appear brown or dull, as these may have lost potency or been exposed to harmful residues. Let me tell you the story of Raymond, a 74-year-old retired architect from New Mexico. His world had always been about light, lines, and clarity until one year, everything began to blur. His ophthalmologist diagnosed moderate cataracts in both eyes, and surgery was scheduled. But Raymond wasn't ready to lose control. He politely asked for a few months to try a natural path. That same day, he began a new ritual: 30 grams of soaked organic goji berries every morning, sipped with the tea they steeped in. He also cut out processed foods and added vitamin C to his routine. 3 months later, during his pre-surgery evaluation, the results stunned everyone, including his doctor. His right eye had improved from grade 3 to grade 2, and his left eye showed a 25% gain in lens clarity. The surgery was postponed and has yet to be rescheduled. Now, 2 years later, Raymond teaches watercolor classes at his local community center, still painting, still sketching, still seeing clearly. Final reflection: your vision, your choice. In the end, the evidence is clear. These 7 fruits, especially when enjoyed consistently and thoughtfully, offer real science-backed hope to millions of people facing a cataract diagnosis. Yes, surgery remains a valuable option in advanced cases, but for those in the early stages or hoping to avoid surgery altogether, the power to protect and even gently reverse lens clouding may already be sitting in your fruit bowl. You don't need to change everything at once. Just start with 1 or 2 fruits that feel right for you and slowly build a routine that fits your life. It's a simple act of care, and your eyes are worth it. Modern medicine is only beginning to understand the full potential of these natural compounds, but your body already knows how to receive them, and your eyes, those faithful windows to the world, deserve this kind of thoughtful, nourishing support. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these fruits do you already eat? Which one will you try first? After watching this, has someone in your family experienced cataracts or had surgery? What was it like for them? And what would you have done differently, knowing this information? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every message with care and gratitude, and your story might inspire someone else to begin their own healing journey. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, sometimes the best way to protect your vision is simply to go back to nature. We'll see you in the next video.